if people are clicking on the normal link, a redirector sends the right post parameters to the vulnerable sites to inject the malicious code. You have some proxy tool from OWASP. It's called WebScrap. It can be used to intercept the HTTP request just before it leaves your computer and goes to the web server. So you can alter all the content of the HTTP request. Then I use some different kinds of tools for Internet Explorer and Firefox. For Internet Explorer, I use WebScrap as a proxy to intercept the requests, and I use debug bar to get more insights in the current DOM of a page, of what's currently loaded in the DOM of a page. Let's see if we have Internet Explorer somewhere. I can show. Okay. I thought I had it on here. Oh yeah, it's here. It's just disabled. And it's a very easy to use tool. You can just take this and aim it at some object on the rendered web page to directly view the source on the left. So even for very complex and very big websites, it's very easy to locate a specific piece of source to see if something is wrong with the source. And yeah, it gives you insight into the runtime code that can differ from the one you've received from the web server by JavaScript doing a document print write, adding new codes to the page. For Firefox, I prefer to use Firefox because of the temper data plugin that works pretty well. The WebScrap also works well, but it's a bit. But I'd rather use the temper data. I'm going to show you an example of temper data, how it can intercept the requests before they leave your computer. Temper data is started, and you just click temper data, and from that moment, every request that is made from the browser, you're able to tamper before it leaves your computer. So. When I press post, it will ask you, tamper with requests. Say OK. And you'll see a pop-up. It will show all the fields of the HTTP request itself. And you can adjust where needed. And also take a good look at this field that's called the host. In this case, I'm a very large banking site.com. And still affected. I'll try to do it again. And you can see you can adjust all the fields of the HTTP request to add malicious code or to check where things go wrong. And that's how temper data can be used to manipulate normally hard to temper post parameters or some parameters that are sent in the background that are normally hard to temper. And temper data solves this problem. Okay. And in Firefox I use the WebDev that does about the same as the debug bar. It gives you the ability to look at the runtime generated content that's stored in the document object model. Anti-XSS filters exist these days, and they can be implemented client-side or server-side or anywhere between. And EA8, for example, has implemented a reflected cross-site scripting filter that effectively stops very little reflected attacks, and it fails to block attacks from same origin. So if you are able to add an reflected cross-site scripting URL on the same domain, it isn't stopped by Internet Explorer 8. Flash-based redirects are also not filtered, or redirects from other plugins or other applications are also not blocked. And one big problem is that each perimeter is checked individually, so it will stop, for example, I will open up Internet Explorer to show what it will stop. If I add to this, I will go to the search page again. Oh, here we have it. Search for. We'll get the regular one. So we have the URL here. If I add a script tag here, I hope I'm using 8. What am I using? 6. Oh, it's a bad example, this. I do have the internet connected, don't I? Yeah. Normally the debug bar also allows you to choose another rendering engine. Normally when used in Internet Explorer 8, it can be used to generate the content of Internet Explorer using old engines like the EA5, 6 or 7 engines to check if your website or cross-site scripting attack is also working on other versions of Internet Explorer. I will check if we are connected at this moment. I will check later on. I will check later on for the examples that failed right now.